Yo, welcome to Blackopolypse, man. We are the Horsemen of Blackopolypse. Well, we're not the Horsemen of Blackopolypse anymore. We are now Blackopolypse Podcast Media. Like this. We're listening to Real Lockroom Talk with your boy, Alstallio. Tonight, my special guest is Keith. Keith from Yo, Keith, you from Massachusetts?
That's right, I'm in Massachusetts. Bro.
Yo, he's from Boston, Massachusetts, man. Yo. And I got, of course, my regulars. I got Nigel and Erica, and Simon will be here in a bit, man. Anyway, yo, Keith, what's going on, man? This is, by the way, everyone, this is Keith, Twin Catering Maestro. He's a chef. Keith, you ever thought about going on MasterChef? Have you ever been on there yet?
Well, I tried. I just, I'm not allowed to because I'm a professional chef. So if you're a professional chef, you're not allowed to participate.
That's not fair. Couldn't you lie to them and say,
I'll kick his ass. You know? You ain't got nothing on me, brother.
You could just be like, I've never cooked before in my life. like for me, for example, I'm quite a good cook, innit? Like just from nature, you know, I'm Jamaican, so Jamaican people always learn to cook jerk chicken and that. So I can do that anyway. So I could cook Gordon Ramsay under the table, man. I can guarantee you.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man. It's not
the thing is though, with Jamaicans, the way Jamaicans cook, they don't do the measuring things. Like, yeah, man, put some of this in, man. I got to put some of that in, and it still tastes crisp. I watched my mum do it the other day. She did a pot of curry goat, and I'm trying to watch what she's doing because there's a secret ingredient that she hasn't revealed to me. Seriously, you know, when you have your mum's food and you eat it, there's like that certain taste, and you think, why? That's like heaven. Mate. I can't replicate it, and whatever she was doing with her hands, man, it was that quick I couldn't even follow. So something went in there that I didn't see. If tonight she won't say, she said, "Oh yeah, man, pimento, and some pepper, and this." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. You're not giving me the secret."
You know, Jamaican food. I think their secret ingredient is tomato sauce and vinegar, man.
Nah, man, what kind of Jamaican food is that?
Yo, that's their barbecue sauce, man.
Nah, man, no.
Yo, Keith, don't laugh at me.
Where you been?
Tomato, what soup?
Tomato sauce and vinegar.
Man, you're talking about prawn cocktail, ain't you?
Trust me, I know, man. I was with some Jamaicans and they were like, yo, you just put a bit of tomato sauce and some vinegar in there. And I was like,
there weren't Jamaicans who was living in Germany for 30 years, were they? You
know what? Look,
I don't know Jamaicans start with tomato sauce.
I task you guys now. Even Keith, I know Keith's the professional.
Tabasco sauce, maybe, but not tomato sauce.
Keith, next time you cook yourself, you put some tomato sauce, vinegar in there, and trust me.
What you saying? Keith, man, put him right, man. Put him right.
Yeah, get the professional.
Mm-hmm. Tomato sauce and the sugar, balance it out all the salt. You need the vinegar for your acid. And then you got the curry, which is bitter. You got to balance it all together. So tomatoes is 100% goes inside of a curry sauce.
Okay.
White nose,
Yeah, my mum don't use no tomato sauce in my curry. So
it's not, it's not for bread. You can just do it. You know what I mean? It's not gospel.
I use tomato sauce for chips, mate.
Nah, but you can just blend it, man. You can blend it. Trust me. But a lot of people don't. Wow, Jamaicans know it. Well, obviously,
Keith's cooking for us, man. He's cooking for us, I hope he's sending that food over by email, my friend.
Anyway, welcome, Simon, man. Thanks for joining us. You're about 2 minutes.
All right, so we're saying, Nigel, how's everyone doing? You're right there, Keith.
What is that, Keith?
That's curry chicken, baby.
Yo, curry chicken.
Man, how can you do that to us, man?
100%.
I've been living in Germany for too long with a European wife, and I haven't had no decent food for a long time. Trust me, apart from when I cook myself. But I can't miss my mom's cook, especially because of Corona, innit?
Wife, this guy's harsh on the wife, man.
Yeah, I know.
My wife's good people's, man.
Some nice traditional somethings, German things.
What, sausages and potatoes with no salt? Nah. All things square. Anyway, going back to Keith. Keith's obviously I met Keith in Germany. He used to live here, but now he's left.
Yeah.
Was that your own choice to leave, or did you just, because Germany sucks?
No, I got myself in a little trouble, so I had to get out of there.
He's having trouble in Germany, man. How do you do that?
I'd rather not speak.
No, you have to speak. No. I mean, I don't want you to reveal anything, but I was just saying, like, how do you get yourself into trouble in Germany when basically you do everything in Germany and get away with it most times?
I know, the party scene is crazy over there. High and Fresh University.
Yeah.
All the artists over from Germany, from America to Germany.
Yeah.
From the the drug scene gets a little crazy.
Yeah. Sure.
I caught with a lot of stuff, and instead of going to jail, I just took off, man. They couldn't hold me.
He did the right thing, man. He did the right thing. It's the same thing I would do, to be fair. I'll be getting off, man.
Had to get the hell out of there. Yeah.
But because you're obviously ex-military too. How long did you serve?
I served 5 years, U.S. Army.
And then you obviously got you was sent to Germany, and that's where you basically set up, innit?
That's right. Yeah.
So the reason why I got you on today, innit, because I wanted to talk about, because you wrote something, a post, which was really interesting, but I don't know if you deleted it or Facebook deleted it. He was talking about gangs in the army. Now, I've heard a few whispers that there is gangs in the army, but you wrote something and you went into detail, man. I was like, yo, I want to read this, and it was gone. I was like, nah, man. So, dude.
Yeah, so it 100% got gangs in the military. You got a lot of white, black, Spanish guys who leave for a certain reason. They leave the United States for a certain reason, either go to jail or get out of their situation. So they join the military trying to become a man, right? So once you get to the military, it's a huge melting pot.
Yeah.
So everyone from all 50 states. So you got the Bloods, you got the Crips, you got the Latin Kings, you got every single gang under the belt together. And it's hard, what they say, you could take someone out the hood, but can't take the hood out of someone. and that's what it's all about. So you get to the military, you're trying to become a man, you're trying to forget your old ways, but you meet up with all these cool people that you never left Massachusetts. So I met people from Georgia, California, and I'm like, yeah, I'm Crip. Yo, man, so what they do over there? So so the military, definitely has a lot of gangs. And the biggest gang, what I would say, is the Masons. The Masons are and they run the military. Almost 60% military is Masonry.
Okay.
That's where the whole system is set up around them, to where they get the rank, they get all the benefits, they get their choice of posts, whatever they want to do.
Okay. Yeah, man, because I met a lot of Masons actually over here, and I was like, "You're Mason?" Because I went into conspiracy deep. I actually bought masonry books, Freemasons and stuff, and I started seeing all the symbolism, like their rings that they have. And I remember, like, when I was working on post, I'd see people driving in, and I'd look at them, like, "Yo, he's got a G on his ring, man. What is that? He's a Mason?" And then I met a guy who's actually quite a high up Mason, and he was all telling me, "Yeah, man, we're all Masons. Man, Masons is good. You should join." I was like, I was like, I'm gonna scratch that, man. That's against my principles, man. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah, the military. I got in a little trouble with gang violence. There was a huge fight in a club in Germany, and instead of just dissecting the situation down there to individuals, they grouped together like we were in the United States, pretty much saying all these black kids from this post are this gang. And all these, and it just carried on. It just followed us. So there's no way to really rehabilitate yourself.
Yeah.
And the system followed you into the place that you're trying to escape to. So it's definitely a problem.
Yeah. That must be hard, because obviously when you join the military, I suppose your assumption and perception is that you're all going to become this kind of brotherhood. And training and adversity. You'll all be kind of, yeah, man, these guys are my guys. I mean, would that kind of play out? I mean, did you see any conflict? Did you have to go to anywhere where there's any conflict where that kind of got in the way of people kind of doing what they should have been doing to protect everybody? Was there any...
Like in Iraq? Was you in Iraq or Iraq?
I don't think, no. When it comes down to a situation like that, is everyone has fear overtakes your ego.
Okay.
So when you're afraid, you stick with each other, no matter what color and where you're from.
Yeah. Okay.
we all make it home. But as far as individual, like in Germany, you leave the United States and you go to the military, Korea, Germany, wherever you go, you can recreate yourself. You know, sort of tend to bind with people that are like you. You know, so you get into these little groups. You don't consider yourself a gang, but in the other men, in another man's eye, you are a gang member. You know, you're running around in the clubs. You're smoking weed in the barracks. You know, got hooking up your cars like if you were on the street back here, and they just consider you individual that is a little bit wild and untamable, and that categorizes you almost as like a gangster. You know, and that's the problem. That never escapes you, you know, and that's most predominantly for the black men in the military.
Yeah. Because obviously we've got this issue at the moment with, like, obviously Black Lives Matter and all these police brutality killings and stuff. You know what I mean? I was thinking, obviously there must be some sort of racism in the military too, like in England too. Simon can attest to that. There's a lot of racism in the British military too. So I guess you guys have to face the Aryan Brotherhood and everything else in the military as well.
Correct. Just like in jail.
That's what I was going to say. Just jail with weapons.
If you look in the history of the military, there's not a lot of black individuals in high positions as far as colonels, lieutenants, generals. Really, there's not a lot. You know, the predominant black men or women in the military are staff sergeants, E8s. You might make your 9, but other than that, you're not going to get it. You know, it takes longer for us to get ranked than a white individual who just got on post. You know, in 2 years they get their sergeant, but in 2 years we might become a private first class. Yeah, it's really some racism. It's a system that's the problem.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of when you left the army, I know it was by means outside your control kind of thing. But what was your rank when you actually left the army after 5 years?
Well, I sort of felt free, but at the same time, I stayed in Germany at that time, and I never went back to the United States to sort of, to process everything that happened. You know, so I stayed in Germany, which had its own systematic problems against black people and minorities. So I really didn't have a chance to adjust. I went in from one horrible situation into another situation I didn't even understand yet. Yeah. So I learned the German language, and I found out, you know, they don't even want you to speak their language. You know, so it's sort of, I didn't really have time to really process everything getting out of the military.
Okay, what was your rank when you left the army?
Specialist.
Yeah, okay, I'll get you. So, what was your speciality? What did you do?
Yeah, in the military.
Chef, you was a chef?
That's right.
Oh, man. We love the chefs in the military, man. They keep us going, man. That's the one actual surprising thing about when I was in the army, when they actually allowed me to eat my food. But the problem was, I try and sit down and was like, right, get out on the drill square. And then you're out on the drill square and you're doing some bullshit, man. Right. Yeah, I like to play games.
Get 2 minutes to inhale your food.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better smell it because you ain't sure as hell ain't going to taste it.
Oh, Keith, you touched on that Germany was like a different experience. I mean, which part of Germany was you in?
So I lived in Mainz, Wiesbaden area.
Okay.
Around the capital, about 30 minutes from the capital. You know, it was really multicultural, a lot of Turkish, a lot of Italian, Russian, but blacks were minimal. You know, ones that lived there, we all stuck together.
Yeah.
When I was in Wiesbaden, I'd see another black guy and I'd be like, hey, man, every time, man, you always have the nod, you know, like the confirmation, like, I know, man, I'm black too. You know,
Kinship.
I'll tell you, it was weird for us to meet Wayne because Wayne was the only English guy I ever met that was black. I never even knew there was black people in England.
Look at that.
There's a whole heap of black people in England, you know, brother. A whole heap.
We're so sheltered here that we don't even understand that. We didn't even understand that part, you know.
Well, I was working with a girl for a rather large company who were based in Dubai, and she was from America. And she'd only ever seen one black person in real life in all the time that she was growing up in America. And she actually ended up marrying an African guy You know what I mean? You know, once she went black, she was like, "Oh my god."
You know
But when she come to England, she was like, "Oh my god, look at all these black people." She just hadn't seen black people, and I thought, hold on a minute, America, surely you're not that big that you can't drive 10, 20 miles and see another.
Nah, it's states, innit? You have to go to different states.
Different states.
Some states are just pure white in America.
Wow.
You know, and then you got some states where it's very multicultural. Like if you go to New York, California, Atlanta. Well, not even all Atlanta. I heard that Georgia is quite black, and then when you go out of Georgia, it's like white.
You know what happened? I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but you know, there's always been a lot of black people in the South, even during the worst of times, because there was a choice for a lot of people or no choice for somewhere. They either tried to stay in the South and pick cotton and do those jobs even after slavery, or go to the North and look for different jobs in the North where they were doing all kinds of things, cooks, labourers, you know, au pairs, all these different things that were happening. So people chose to either stay in the South or go North, but there's always been predominantly a big black community in the South. So in all of those places, Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, all these places, there's always been, and Florida, there's always been a huge black contingent there.
That's true. That is 100% true. You know, I say the way that America's set up is, you know, if you put a dot on a piece of paper and around that dot draw a huge circle, that's how every state is set up. So all the minority blacks are on that dot, and then the whole circumference filled with white people. So it's a control process. So they always have the control. You know, cities, a lot of black people in the cities, but in the suburbs, man, it looked like a white piece of paper, brother.
Wow.
So
it's interesting because last night I was watching a documentary on UK TV, on BBC, and it was actually talking about black people being in the countryside, and it was saying like the countryside is actually so therapeutic for you and to be in touch with nature. It was actually we was preconditioned. So the lady was saying that when she came here from, I think it was Jamaica or Grenada or somewhere, she says they knew that only really white people lived in the countryside, and they were hostile. And it wasn't the fact that they were hostile. That environment quickly, like black people quickly realized they wasn't welcome there. So they passed that on to their children. And then 2 generations, when you become detached from nature and you're not used to being in the countryside, like, I know many black people from the city who never, ever go out into nature, literally never go out into nature. There is a huge detachment between black people and nature in the UK because we just know to stay away from the countryside because, you know, literally historically, we knew that we wasn't welcome there. So we just stayed in urban areas and stayed together. It's an interesting thing, but it's very sad because if I think about what nature means to me, and how I feel literally being replenished when I'm out in nature, it's crazy that so many people who have got built up, and this is talking about, obviously, black people have faced a lot of systemic injustices and, you know, problems at home. So to be out in nature, to be able to sort of meditate, to be able to just take yourself away from it and breathe that country air in, I think it'd actually be really important and helpful to a lot of black people.
I believe so as well.
Anyway, so Keith. Anyway, so you're a chef. Well, I want to change the topic a little bit. You're a chef. How's it going for you at the moment? Because obviously, you still shut down there in Boston.
That's right. Yeah, we're still shut down. We can't open for a while. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, the thing is, there's brighter days ahead because in Germany we've been open for like maybe 2 months now, and you know the restaurants back open as normal and things are anyway because you got family here, haven't you? Still in Germany.
That's right. Yeah.
So you know. Everyone's gone kind of crazy, man. You know, it's like we're expecting the second wave to like just take us all out. Yeah, man. So just sit tight. You're gonna. I think England's just opening up now as well, isn't it? England.
Just about. No leisure centres.
Independence Day.
Have you been given an estimated date of when you can maybe look to get back to business, Keith?
So we're opening catering I do catering. So we're opening up in stage 4. And stage 4 is when they find the vaccine, when the vaccine works and the vaccine's in the public. So
wait there.
Robin is taking it serious then.
Yeah.
Stage 4.
Stage 4. So as far as America right now, we have we have the restaurants who are they open up outside. So they have to build a barrier outside, set up tables 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And they can serve with mask on, sanitizer after every single last touch. What else? They opened up the malls. They opened up the movie theaters. But here in Massachusetts, I got to say I'm really proud of my city in Boston, because the rest of the states are opened up doing full business. But Massachusetts, we're saying, nope, we're not ready. We're not going to open up until we're 100%. Right now, I believe we have, in the past 2 weeks, only 30 people who passed away from coronavirus and only 100 and something cases. And that's huge, because we have a governor, a mayor that really cares about the people, so.
That's the thing, isn't it? Well,
isn't it hard? Because obviously America it's an open place. You can drive from one state to another without anyone. So, so even if you guys have locked off, what about the people who may be coming into Massachusetts from either side? There's like 4 different ways you can come in from 4 different states. How do you kind of control that?
Actually,
amendment,
you can't.
Second Amendment.
No, I think like Nigel's right for raising that, because that is what I was going to say as well.
Did he just say the Second Amendment?
Yeah.
Oh God!
I'm glad in Massachusetts. No, but in general, like you're right to raise that. I was going to raise that point, because like it is exactly that. But I think what it is that's going to carry, there's going to be some kind of calculation to work out how he's coming in. And I think what he's doing by, like you say, by having a governor and a mayor who are sort of working, in tandem, and they're actually to have joined up thinking when you're getting the advice from Trump, what you're getting is, it's amazing that some states are just like, no, we're going to have to take that whole situation and deal with this ourselves. And some people did that really well, like Governor Cuomo. He did really well in New York when it was really surging over there. And there's been places where, like I say, like Massachusetts and a few places who have, really worked together. The problem is when the mayor and the governor are arguing, and then obviously you're getting direction from above that is literally pushing for states that reopen no matter what.
Plonker.
The way to look at this is now Trump's having these rallies, and they're actually they've got stickers on these seats at these convention centres that are saying, social distancing, blah, blah, blah. And he's instructing his staff to go in there, tie chairs together and take the stickers off, fill the places up and everything. But obviously he's not masked up, but all these people have to be masked up, tested every single day and contact traced. But then the rest of people in society is not advocating for that at all. He's actually saying we don't need to test that many people and we shouldn't, and wear a mask if you want to and all the rest of it. So the advice is really, really bad. So when governors and mayors get it right, and you've got that cohesion between the two, because it doesn't work when you're getting advice from the mayor and then the governor basically says, right, and we're opening anyway, because the mayor becomes disabled, then they're the lesser power, they can't control what's happening. So it just depends. I think Massachusetts is doing a brilliant job. And you're safe, Keith, man, you're safe.
Oh yes, always. Oh yeah, always. I got the Lord behind me, man. God keeps me safe.
Yeah, man. And Interpol.
Interpol.
So let me tell you something.
Interpol, because Germany, running from Germany, what we said earlier on.
Oh yeah, that's a joke. Okay, yeah, I get it.
There's a system in place where if in a crisis or a pandemic, we could declare a state of emergency.
Yeah.
The president who is in office automatically takes over that office for 4 more years. So anything that Donald Trump is saying is everything where the virus doesn't matter anymore. It's gone. We beat it, all the stuff that Donald Trump is saying, telling the mayors, open up, yeah, everything's fine. He just wants to make sure that in November, if this virus is still around, him as president to say state of emergency, and he doesn't even have to run for president. He's automatically president.
Oh my God. So we by default, man.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So wait, did you hear about this geezer? What's his name? Kanye West saying he's going to run, because we posted something in the group, and Simon had a good point. What do you think, Keith? Have you heard of it?
I did, yes.
And what do you think?
Come on, Keith, what do you know, Joe?
This is a publicity stunt. All right. So Kanye he could kick rocks. I don't like him at all. So this is Donald Trump and Kanye's plan. So if Kanye takes, say, 2,000, 3,000 votes from the public, as long as Biden doesn't get those votes pretty much go to Donald Trump. It's another little scheme of Donald Trump's to get all the votes. He needs the electoral votes. So if people start voting for Kanye, that takes away from the, I want to say, the Democratic Party. You know, in default, again, he wins. So it's a strategic thing that Donald Trump is doing by having Kanye run for president.
You know, I'll add to that as well. Like, the one thing, when people say that Kanye's unhinged, the one thing that I don't think anybody can actually say is that he doesn't know what he's doing. You know, he may be a fool in some ways, but he's very calculating. And if Kanye was really actually running for president, he wouldn't be coming in after the primaries like this late in the day with some half-assed kind of campaign. He would have been there early. He would have been in the rest of his opponents down early in the first, second round and everything. So he's got a clear run to the finish line, because he's not the kind of guy who's going to sit back and just wait this one out until the last minute, unless he had a realistic chance of winning.
Yeah.
He's got a massive following. You know, he's a very, very talented and famous guy, but he hasn't got the sort of pull to be able to come in this late in the game and expect serious voters to vote for him. Because how is he going to appeal to the white middle class woman, you know, in the middle of Oklahoma or something? Like, who's not going to resonate with hip hop music, or, you know, somebody very brash and outspoken and black telling them what they should do.
I did want to ask Keith, though, do you think that the Black American citizens will see through it, or do you feel as though some will buy into it because he was in the church and everything, and people seem to have bought into that? So
I would say the hip-hop community bought into his church, but for the realistic people out here like me, the everyday black person, we can't stand that, because you're going against God. You know what you stand for. And then you're representing God. You're going to open up a church, Kanye Sundays. I don't know what he's doing, but and trying to win all the votes. He thought they believe they have the black vote in the belt by putting Kanye up there, you know. And I don't respect it at all, because in the midst of this Black Lives Matter, he shouldn't be running for president. He should be making sure we're making changes in the city from Chicago, where 100 people died, not even on 4th of July. You know, like that. He has us focus in another place, which also tells me I would never vote for Kanye West. You know, it's like watching a soccer game, right? The commentator knows everything about soccer, but put him on the field, he can't even score a goal. He won't even be able to pass the ball.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about Kanye, man.
I always think, like, and this is. I don't know if it's anything to do with the fact that he's rich, but in powerful circles, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to come across a lot of interesting people who have a lot of interesting things to say. I reckon that Kanye is just one of those guys who just hear really amazing things in passing and then tries to palm it off as his own, as like right knowledge. You know, he just seems like one of them kind of brothers, man. He's like, I have a philosophy. I had a dream. You know what I mean? And then like, this guy's trying to pass it off like that's his thing. I mean, this guy will have you believe he partied this, you know, the Red Sea. And I just think like he's a bit of a clown, but I think not. I don't take him as a joke. I'm not going to say that this guy doesn't have anything about him. He's obviously he reminds me, to be honest, of Candice Owens, where she has the potential to be absolutely brilliant, but chooses to be a clown. And I'd say that in a sense about Kanye, but not to the same degree. I think this is a publicity stunt. I wouldn't call him a clown. I think he's got some interesting things to say, but he's not presidential material in my opinion.
Yeah, man. While we talk about this man and the whole Black Lives Matter stuff, did you hear about this party, the NFAC? Did anyone else hear that?
Yeah, I saw the march. I saw a video clip of it, someone that would have been watching. But what state they were in? Where were they?
Georgia.
Oh, these the guys with the guns?
Yeah. They're my boys, man.
These are the guys who went to defend people, yeah? So protesting, yeah? Well, I think he raised an interesting point, because it was just saying about people marching on DC and what would happen if black people chose to do what those those sort of people defending the American the statues of Confederate, these Confederate leaders, because I don't think they could have pulled that off in Washington. But that, like you say, where is it actually?
It's not an open carry state. That's why.
No.
Well, I would ask Keith quickly. If say these guys really got some like influence going around, because I think they have. Because like, to be honest, I'll join them straight away. I'll join them. I don't care. Yeah, I would. If they got big, how long would it be before the U.S. military was like, okay, we got competition?
I think it leaves the state. It's still in one state at the moment. So as soon as it leaves the state, then I believe we're going to have an issue.
Okay.
There's already a lot of talk. They're trying to now associate with the NFAS with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's not, these political communists who are trying to represent Black Lives Matter. So they're trying to terrorize, put it into a terrorist group. It'll be.
But they did the same with Black Panther movement, though, didn't they?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
And the thing is, when you watch some of the documentaries, anytime there's a black voice or any kind of person who looks like they're going to get a following, they just take them out.
Yeah.
So that's why you'll find, a lot of people who are making decisions. You won't know who's making the decisions, but we do need that unity. We do need that unity, but it's very difficult now because the voice, everybody wants something different. That's why there's some black people who voted for Trump, because they want to have someone who goes to church as their president. You've got some black people who, will never vote for Trump because they want democracy. They want rights for, there's so many different facets that have got to be created to actually make it equal. You haven't got one unifying black voice, which is going to make everybody happy. Because I tell you what, black people, man, when it comes to moaning, we're the quickest to moan, quickest to moan. Listen, mate, I'll tell you a quick story. There's a group on Facebook, and there's this girl, and she's built this group for the black community. 100,000 in about 1 week. 100,000 people. There's people on there now moaning at their posts and being posted straight away. They don't appreciate that there's like 7,000 posts coming in a day, and they've all got to be approved. They're moaning. Instead of them thinking, well, look, man, it's a good cause. I can wait. So my people's like, oh, man, what about me? What about me? So
you're desperate, innit?
Yeah, and that's the problem. And it's not just black people. I think it's people in general. But to get that one unified voice who's going to say, right, I can say 95% of what I say will make my people of colour happy. It's bloody hard, man, because we divided down so many lines. Gangs, religion. In some places, you're too black or you're too light. You know what I mean? We've got all these. So it's hard. It's definitely hard to unify. And I think it's a difficult job. Even if you had a country where it was just black people, we'd still find a problem to say, well, you're got to live that way because you're, you know what I mean? It's a difficult thing, man. Difficult thing. Yeah. And that's why when all these communists, socialists, whatever, jump on these bandwagons, when you really strip it back, for me, it should be about colour. Forget the fact whether he's left, he's a lefty or whatever. It should be about colour, man.
That's exactly what they're doing.
But they have to make it about everything else on top.
Yeah, but no, that's what they're making it about. They're making it exactly about colour. Don't you see, by distinct, by linking all of these things onto the Black Lives Matter movement just by association, by what? The fact that these people are black. That's exactly what's happening. That's how he's being brought back. What are happening, like you said, with the Black Panthers and stuff back, in the civil rights days, is anything that would have been associated with them. Any kind of spin-off group or anybody actually, maybe you got peaceful people who were like people like MLK, but not so well known. They would have just associated them straight away to the most violent, the most heinous, to anything that and any story that ever happened with a black person after that. If a black guy goes and robs somebody down in the street, it would be probably a known member of this organisation. Yeah. They would tie it straight into the organisation just to keep that narrative always. Yeah,
that's it. And that's the thing.
But that's what's going to happen now with Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Every mention of them and every black person who ever did anything ever, they'll be over here. They'll be like, Linford Christie, man, he was Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Well, look what happened with Muslims. I didn't even know what a Muslim was until 9/11, and then I knew what a Muslim was because the media told me that there was these guys. They were all supposed to be terrorists, and I've got to hate them all, and I must watch out for them. And then I was told that they like allow meat and all these things. I'm thinking, but it never bothered me before. Yeah. But I had to learn to hate these people. I had to learn to hate them because the media dictated it.
On the show. excuse me to cut in there, John, who you wouldn't know this, Keith, we had a previous guest on the show who was a white guy who went out with his family and stayed in Kashmir in Pakistan during literally the height of the tensions, well, not the height of the tensions, but not many years after, like what happened in 9/11. And he didn't pay for a drink. He never paid for food. They were literally thanking him for going there because what the Western media was telling them is that everybody in Pakistan is basically, got a vest on and they're going to blow themselves up.
Mm.
And it really and truly had normal families there who could not believe that this white guy was going to be there. And he ended up staying with the family for 2 months and he never bought a thing, even in a shop. He said even shopkeepers wouldn't take his money.
Yeah, I can vouch for that too, man. I've heard that as well about Pakistan. But anyway, I want to go back to the NFAC, man, because I want to join. Oh, no, Keith, you know anybody, man? Get me in.
Oh, shit. No, man. No,
but
I take care of what's around me. But to go out there and risk your life, I still don't even know too much about it. Like Black Lives Matter. I love my people, but to fight, I'm just not completely. I don't have all the knowledge yet to even talk about the subject. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's probably better just to stay away from that sort of stuff, man. Because I think there's enough martyrs who will do it. But you're like obviously a father. You got kids. You got business. It's not really your fight. You're doing all right. But I think there's a lot of people who are not doing all right who can say, you know what, I'm gonna go and fight for this cause. Even me, I got like 3 kids now. I got a wife. Got a job. I'm pretty set up here. I don't have to go and fight anyone's fight apart from racism. Racism, I'm going to fight to the day I die now. I don't care. I'm a soldier of.
I'm with you, bro. I'm in with you.
Yeah, the anti-racism soldier. That's what I am. So I'll fight that till I die. Apart from that, any other fights, unless it's like an all-out civil war, I have to take a couple of geezers down. Then I'm in. But yeah, man.
We fight with intelligence. With our brains, if we could change one person's opinion every day, you're winning the war. That's how I fight with my words, that's learning the facts and being able to present the facts to where maybe you can have a change of heart. And, that's the battle I'm fighting. If I have to pick up my gun, then there's a serious problem.
Yeah, of course. Speaking is no longer an option. I want to go back to your military career. Did you ever go downrange? Is that what you call it? You saying you went to Iraq?
Yeah. Well, Iraq. I didn't go to Afghanistan, where another situation in the military. I got myself into a lot of trouble. Got locked up for 5 months and kicked out the army after 5 years of service.
Okay.
So, I had a racist sergeant who just kept on telling me, I'm from Boston. And Boston's not known for a lot of black people. Yeah. So he kept telling me, oh, man, you're like Uncle Tom. You're a white boy. Like, there's no black people in Boston. So that was just making me mad. I punched him in the face. And I pulled a knife on him in the kitchen. And, they locked me up. They locked me up, bro. So.
Was like, obviously he was in jail then, or prison jail. Is that like normal jail? Is that like kind of like a soft version or a harder version, actually?
I would say it's a little bit softer. They try to follow the same system, but because we're soldiers, from the Air Force, the Navy, the Marines, everyone's together in Mannheim, Germany. Okay. It's just we do our 9 to 5. They give us gym time. They feed us, and then they lock us in the cell. With 12 or 15 people on one bay. So it's almost being back in basic training. That's how it felt.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's all right then. That's all right. It's easy then. So when you just like don't want to go down range, man, you just punch a sergeant in his face. You good? Yeah. 5 months.
There's no advantages to punching a sergeant, man. Believe me, apart from instant gratification at the time.
There's no advantages. No.
I nearly went there myself. I got thrown down the stairs by a sergeant, and then thrown down the next flight of stairs by the same guy. I was 16 years old, the youngest trainee on camp out of 1,500. One of 3 black or minority ethnic, as you say these days. Guys out on there. So. Yeah, man, and they used to be blatantly racist to us. They say, when you come to attention, you bring you snap your arm down like there's a nigger going through your mom's handbag. No offense, Johnson, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I used to get it so bad. I used to get just, when we was like running and there'd be like a puddle of like dirty, muddy water. tell me to start doing press ups and then stand on my back and then just grip the back of my shirt and just pull me through the mud and then tell me that we had dress parade on and we all had to stand up and see how our uniform looked, and obviously I'm there dripping in mud. So I've got now about 30 seconds to go back inside and get changed and get out there in 30 seconds, which is impossible. So now he's going to beast everybody else in the squadron except for me, who can go back inside, change, have a nice cup of coffee and watch everybody else. And then, yeah, you do that.
Best of friends, innit?
You do that enough times to somebody and yeah, you'll make some enemies. I mean, you set everybody on me.
I don't know if you had it. You didn't have it like that, though, Keith. When did you, how old was you when you went into the military?
I was 19 when I joined.
Oh, so you're still quite young. And then you went straight to, you did your basic training and then went straight to Germany.
I did basic training in AIT, which is your job training. Went straight to Germany, correct.
But they weren't that harsh with you, because I guess in America, it doesn't matter how we look at it. I think Americans' military is a lot more multi-diverse than the UK military, I believe. And also, I think in America, it seems like military is, like Keith said earlier, it's a way to get for a black person to get out, you know, of the life that he's probably been set out for. You know what I mean? You can think, okay, I'm going to go to the military and set myself up a little bit. Whereas if you just stays in the hood, you know where that's probably going to end up, jail or dead. So, yeah, man. Anyway, so you went down. So, do you want to say something?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So you went down to Iraq, man. What was that like? Because was that like hours of boredom, or was it like all action packed, like a Call of Duty game?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
I've never been to Iraq, but I've been to Macedonia and Kosovo.
Oh, you didn't go to? Oh,
they locked me up before the unit left.
Oh yeah.
They
Okay.
were taking my ghetto butt with them. Yeah, they were taking me. It was
Like, this guy shoot us.
He said, I'm out of control. We are not taking him. No, they locked up about 7 of us, about 7 different guys. You know, a couple of guys, Chicago, Las Vegas, a couple of New York guys who just they classified off. You know, they wrote us off as soon as we got there. We were young, dumb.
Yeah.
And they locked us up and put us out before the military, our unit actually was deployed.
Yeah, because I guess it's kind of like one of those cases where you think to yourself, you know, if I go down rage, man, it's gonna be a hell of a lot of friendly fire going around.
That's right.
Just shoot your stuff, shot. Was it Iraqi or it was a Pakistani or someone else?
You know, I see a lesson from God, man. God made sure that I didn't put myself in a situation.
Yeah.
So and I wasn't able to go, but you know, that's what we all hope for. We all hope that we never have to, but some, you know, thousands were forced to go. So
I'll actually ask you a question, because I wanted to bring this up on an earlier show. I mean, it just seems like, right, we're talking about obviously being, you know, when you mentioned saying, when you're talking about how it is in America, where in any place you just literally have that dot where that's where the black people are, and around it that's where it's all white people. I was going to say, like, for the fact that we do segregate ourselves off in so many places, and it's everywhere around the world, literally wherever you go, to some extent. Do you think, like, tribalism and that willingness to and need or want to stay with your own is natural, or do you think it's learned behavior?
I believe it's learned behavior. You know, it's systematic. They teach you that in school. From school, you learn that, you know, different classifications, and they sort of teach you only one tribe. They don't really teach all tribes. So they make others feel less confident about their skin color or where their religion or, you know, where they come from, and others very proud, you know, as far as, you know, white Caucasians, they're proud to be Americans. You know?
Yeah, they're always proud to be Americans, aren't they? They're not really what a lot of them mean is, I'm proud to be white, man, because, you know, I'm living a charm life right about now, man.
There's nothing wrong with it, though, is it? As long as it's not hate anybody else, in it.
Yeah, you can't choose to be white, and this is what I think I've said to a lot of white people I know, and it's happened a lot in England, and I'm sure each of you have had the conversation in your own peer groups. Like, there's a lot of white people now who are going through white shame, and some of them because they've sort of come to a realization about things they didn't realize before, and others probably feel like it's been pushed upon them to sort of make a decision where they stand, and they've decided, look, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history, so I'm going to stand in with the Black Lives Matter or whatever, you know, crowd, or stand proud and be white. I think the problem is like you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. If you are white, you should, like Alstallio said earlier on, if you just see something that don't seem right, you know, then you call it out. And like you said, Keith, earlier on, you know, your fight is to try and educate people with fact, you know, to tell them stuff that they don't know. And there was a goal casting that I put up earlier on in the group, and it was talking about Dave Chappelle, and it was a really good one. It was, I do like them goal castings, but it was a particularly good one. And he talked about that experience, you know, growing up, you know, with you know, being that one, you know, that one black family, or that, you know, and growing up with the hardships and people basically just passing it off like it's not real. You know, it's our I learned the experience that we're all going through. And I think, like, if you're going to be white, just take in the knowledge, listen to what people are actually saying to you. And if they're saying that we're hurting and we're going through this collectively and there's enough voices, then just at least acknowledge us. And that will be at least a start. You know, we don't ask you to, you know, march on Capitol Hill, but we just ask them to at least acknowledge the pain.
Yeah, man. Anyway, I guess you guys ain't got nothing. You guys are quiet today, man. You guys are awfully quiet, man. Hello?
I'm here, man. I'm here. Keith, how long have you had the business, man, before lockdown?
Well, I started Twins Catering in Germany. So I had Twins Catering about 6 years in Germany.
Wow.
Then, yeah, man. So, you know, then I got home I came home 2015, and my brother and I actually opened up Twins Catering here in 2016. Wow. So, you know, we're doing very well. We got a great contract with the New England Patriots. Everyone knows, you know, Tom Brady and all these guys.
Yeah.
Every home game, we do all the caterings for them. And, you know, it's just been growing. But I've been doing it for a little while. And it's my passion. I wouldn't want to do anything else, you know.
Wicked, man.
I didn't even notice.
Have you cooked for any, like, obviously Tom Brady, but have you cooked for any other big celebrity names that we might know about?
Oh, yeah. So when in Boston, when, say, Gordon Ramsay, there's a chef, Guy Fieri, Josh Ingram, Lydia Shire, these famous chefs, when they're in Boston, my brother and I are invited to come help them out. And
boom!
It's Gordon Ramsay always swearing.
Ramsay's a dick.
He won't see this show. I'm pretty sure he won't see it.
No, but if it does, Gordon, you're a dick. That's a dick as well.
When it comes down to cooking, he has a lot of knowledge. But when he gets his hands on the product, when he's actually doing the product, he makes a lot of errors.
Really?
You know, he's the one that actually carries them. You know, the finished product is I give to the team, but the knowledge itself. But his team, just like every sport, every person, you have your team, and the team makes the star. You know, so that's what I would have to say about Gordon Ramsay. But there's a lot of chefs out there who you know, stuck. Everyone has their, you know, their we call it vices. You know, everyone has their vices. Their, you know, that you know, if you're smoking weed or if you're drinking and whatever, pornography, whatever, their vices. But you know, I didn't really. You would look at all these stars and be like, "Hey, man, he's a superstar. He must be perfect." But everyone's not like that, and I find that my color. I found that out the hard way.
Like, where you like, oh man, Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver's here, man. This is an honor, but really, you're a better cook than them. You know what I mean? It's always like that. Actually, the best people are often never discovered because obviously, the way I look at it, the whole industry is a monopoly. You know, if you know somebody, you get in. If you don't know nobody, you stay at the bottom. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Well, like you were saying in the military, there's a glass ceiling, and once you get to that level, you're not going any higher. And sometimes, you know, somebody's putting that ceiling in front of you, or at least putting a block above your head and making you think that's the ceiling.
Yeah, but the thing is, Keith ain't doing that. Keith's going on his own journey to success, mate.
But that's what I'm saying. But like these people, will try and there's a lot of people who will try and make you feel like that is your place. You know?
Yeah, your ceiling.
What problems have you had with the business? Have you had any major challenges that you had to overcome in Germany and in America?
Major challenges? Not really. Just, you know, finding the money to grow. You know, that's always been a challenge. You know, we go to the banks and we're looking for all these loans for itself, but the loans just doesn't come in, so we have to grind even harder.
Yeah. You know? A lot of hustling.
No handouts, you know, and that's the issue that we face. Even though I'm a veteran of the United States Army and You know, there's just no handouts. Yeah. Everything before we get shut down. So it's the system we're fighting right now. You know, there's no handout.
Well, in inverted commas, a lot of these companies now are jumping on the bandwagon of the Black Lives movement. Some of them are saying, look, man, we're going to invest, you know, X millions, hundreds. I think Netflix was saying 100 million, which was like 0.5% of the money they got in the bank. I mean, are you kind of looking at some of these companies and say, well, okay, if you put your money where your mouth, have you kind of approached any of these guys yet, or asking the question or getting your managers on it and stuff?
No. I would say we're more independent. I wouldn't even want to hand out from these guys because, you know, it's all charades, man. As far as my brother and I, we just, you know, use every avenue that we have. I'll prepare meals for families or some hours to teaching the kids in the community how to cook and make money that way. So, you know, we won't chase them. You know, we tried, we seen what the outcome was, and we moved forward. Yeah. With these guys playing all these charade games, I wouldn't trust them having a part of my business moving forward.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for you to, like you said, keep doing charity events, keep showing that you can cook, because you'll get so many customers from that stuff. You know what I mean? It's the same with me. Like when I do piano, when I play at one place, like maybe a wedding or something, and then like another person will come to me, or two people will come to me, can you play at my wedding? Yeah, okay. And next time I go to their wedding, another 4 people will come, and 8, and all of a sudden I got like all these gigs. And it's the same thing with you guys, man. As long as you're cooking some nice sidewinders or something, you're good. No, not sidewinders, sliders. Sidewinders. I'm thinking of the garage. Remember the garage event, sidewinders, yeah.
Sound like a cocktail, brother.
Or something like this, yeah. So,
what's your speciality? You know, if you're going to cook us one food just to wow us.
Hey, give us a tip. Yeah, give the people, the listeners, a tip.
One thing just to make us say, yo, this guy's mentioned about.
Nice crab cakes. We'll do some coq au vin. You know, we do a lot of French style cuisine. You know, that's the way I learned. You know, a lot of Belgian and French cooking. You know, I like it fancy. You know,
posh.
Really.
It's posh.
Or if you like, you know, foie gras on a nice salad, apple salad. I mean, we do it all. You know?
Wow.
Can you do? It probably makes sense. Can you do Indian food?
Yes, I dabbled in it a little bit. It's hard to understand because it's really
complex, and
yeah, oil, a lot of oils and spices, and you know, I wouldn't serve that to my guests just because I look out for the health. I just want them to be healthy, and a lot of Indian cuisine is not healthy.
Yeah, that's true. And grease. You should try vegan food, man. That's what you do. You're not a vegan, are you? Or a vegetarian?
No, none of that.
You need to do. Hey, listen, dude.
None of that. You know,
it's not gonna clash. It's not gonna clash. It's not gonna clash. You need to do a vegan restaurant and sell vegan food, and trust me, you're gonna be banking.
Man's like, I ain't got tofu. I got a tofu.
I think the only vegan company I know is making money is Lyndon McCartney, and her food ain't even.
She's vegetarian. Food. She's vegetarian. She's not vegan.
Oh well. Yeah, that's it. Then I rest my case.
It's still good though. It's still meat free.
But there's no big restaurant change or any big restaurants who are vegan only who are smashing it. So for me, it's like they're out there. There's a lot of people out there, but I can't think of one vegan store that's kind of a name, a global.
When I went to Thailand, there was a restaurant. They were killing it, man.
Mate, did you hear what I just said?
It doesn't matter. You just said there wasn't a big one. I told you one.
When I went to Thailand, I want about a vegan sort of a worldwide brand like McDonald's or KFC.
But they're all integrating vegan burgers instead of
I went to Thailand, mate. There's one in Blackheath.
Actually, talking of vegan stuff, how about this? I don't know if you guys got to hear the story about with this going back a while now when Burger King was launching their vegan burger, and I said this is a completely vegan burger, but they cook it on the same griddle as well.
The same greasing thing as the meat on a. They ain't got the foggies.
That's where they get the taste.
They're just trying to pander. The thing is, though, as daft as it sounds, if you can cater for that marketplace, it is additional revenue stream.
Yeah.
You can't deny that, because if you can get an extra 1,000 people in a year because you put on a selection of vegan dishes, well, that's 1,000 times their money, isn't it? So it makes sense. You know, any restaurant that is looking to grow, incorporate it, man.
It's a brilliant market because it's only going to get bigger. Like I say, like you'll see things like you said, like you don't recognize a brand but you will, and you're aware that you will in the future because that's the way.
There's one coming, man. Trust me.
Yeah, that's the way it's going, man. But the one thing you don't do to try and appeal to the vegan crowd is tell them that you're going to cook it on the same place as them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to win no. It's like saying to an animal lover, obviously a vegan and everything, say, listen, but we killed it nicely, this pig died beautifully, like,
it was in the grass the day before, on the fields.
Well, I'll have the sausage.
So like I said, vegan restaurants, vegan on the menu is the way forward, man. Hey, Keith, if you take anything from this conversation today, man, put vegan stuff on your food, on your menu, man. And you'll be good.
To add on.
Yeah, add it on to the menu. Add it on.
In your twin business, have you ever had a restaurant, or has it always been outside catering?
We had 2 restaurants. We tried. The place that we lived in was a predominantly Portuguese area, and our tough community. So we opened up a soul food restaurant in the middle area, and it just didn't work out too well. They didn't trust us enough. We were brand new. This was back in 2006. They didn't trust we knew what we were doing. So we ended up shutting that down and opened up a breakfast and lunch diner. So the breakfast and lunch diner, Twins Cafe, we made it in the newspaper. Everyone's talking about it. Board of Health came down and found every single last reason to shut us down.
Really?
So 2 exits. Exit purposes. Our hood over the grill was too small, and we just didn't have enough money to put up to save ourselves. So we had to shut that one down.
Damn.
But you know what? And thank goodness to God, that was the birth of Twins Catering. After we tried the restaurants, we were like, what? We're just gonna do catering. And we've been catering ever since,
Mate,
So
get rid of all them overheads, all them regular bills going out every month. It's actually a weight off people's shoulders to relinquish. I mean, I had an office for my business, and man, the day I handed back them keys, the clouds open, man, and this light just shone through on me. Hallelujah! Because it was like, whoa! I feel like, honestly, it's just that pressure. Because every month, right, before we can even eat a piece of bread for ourselves, we've got to serve X amount of customers, and we've got to hope they're all happy, hope they all pay, hope they all leave tips, and then we might be able to get a can of beans at the end of the night for ourselves. So I imagine that was a big weight off your shoulders, man, to get rid of that.
I've always had a kind of a dream. I don't know if it's still a dream while I'm doing all this stuff now, but I always wanted to open like a stand, obviously like an imbiss stand. What would you say to me, Keith? Like if I was gonna, because obviously that's got to be kind of fast food, isn't it? It's got to kind of be like burgers and quick things that you can do quickly. You can't do a Jamaican rice and peas. Well, you probably can if you prepare it the night before, but it takes a long time. You know what I mean? So what would you say to me if I was like, yeah, man, I got so much money, I want to open one of these up. Would you recommend it, or would you say, nah, you know what?
Well, I would do it. I would do it as long as you have 2 or 3 employees where you can relieve yourself. That's the money's going to come or go. People are going to like it or not. They're going to support or not. But if you get stuck there 7 days a week for 17 hours a day, your life. So, you have to evaluate that part. But the business is easy. The recipes, you can put shit on a stick. People will buy
it, I might just do that. I swear you'll find someone to really buy that stuff. I'm pretty sure you would. You just market it correctly.
There was a company here that was in Wales, and I couldn't believe that radio was interviewing them, and I think they were doing it more for satire, for the joke. But these people were deadly serious. They were selling fresh Welsh air, bottled air from Wales.
Dude, that's good.
People in America, when you open out this thing, what do you expect to happen when they open out fresh air? What do you think is going to happen? Like, so say you're in America now, you're in Florida, and you go, yeah, man, I'm going to have some of this nice Welsh air. And then you open the bottle. What do you think's going to happen? You think you're going to smell Welsh air? It's only for $1 a bottle, bro.
How much?
$1 a bottle?
That's the biggest
Well,
markup.
it's
$100,000. That's why they use the radio.
It's one way to kind of help with recycling, though, isn't it? Because that bottle of poppy finish, man, you can just fill it up, sell it for £1.
Yeah.
Keep it circulating, man.
You know, actually, that's see. So what you're saying is something nice. I've heard of places, for example, in Japan, where they sell. I don't even say the word, but doo-doo burgers. You can sell. They sell doo-doo burgers, man. Actually, I don't even know if it's real, man, but I know that's what they're saying. There's an idea that they could sell doo-doo burgers.
There's a market for everything. Oh my God.
I've heard the shit, man.
You've heard the good.
I've heard the shit, bro.
They are.
Man, no. I'm gonna ask my Japanese friend about that on Thursday because I can't believe that. What's that? Yeah, make that up, man.
Nah, I'm serious, man. I'm telling the truth, man.
I'll get on Google now.
Anyway, guys, man, we've done an hour, man. I'm sure everyone's ready to go to sleep. Well, except for Keith. He's chilling.
Middle of the day, Keith.
Anyway, we'll start with our guest today. Keith, you got anything to plug, man? Tell us about Twin Catering, where you are, where we can get your food.
That's right. So, Boston, Massachusetts. We service all New England, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, any high-end, low-end event up to 1,500 people. We can cater. Find us at Instagram at Chef Twin Keith or Twin Catering LLC. Our website, www.twincatering.com. Excuse me. I'm all over the place, guys. But yeah, just Google Twins-Catering LLC and we are available.
Sounds good, man. Who's next? Sai?
Man, I'm good. I just want to say, been a crazy old week again, man. Bringing some ideas together and that, and I'm going to make some announcements to do that. I'm still keeping strong for this week. Hopefully by next week I'm going to have something great to say.
Nice word, man. Nigel?
Yeah, just want to say, keep the fight going, man. Keep our knee on their throats. Let's make sure there's some change. Let's get some unity. Let's get one voice which says something to the community, which we can all say, that's what we need to happen.
Yeah, man.
Boom.
Wait, and he's the boss of Love Selling Hate. No. Love
Sells, Hate Selling.
.com. And he's probably got a seminar coming up which he doesn't want to promote for some reason. So
No. I am taking on people at the moment. To be fair, man, I've got students coming at me left, right, and centre. I'm going to have to shut the door soon.
Yeah, okay. I hope he stays with that.
That's
And the lovely Erica, you got anything to bless us with?
I just want to actually say happy birthday to my brother, Errol. Hey.
Happy birthday, Errol. Happy birthday. How old is he? 23 or 33?
30 for the 9th time.
Ninth time, he's old.
That's like my mum. That's like my mum. She's still 25, man. I'm like, hold on, I've surpassed you in age. You had me before I was born.
Stay blessed and keep getting fresh air, people. Don't stay indoors.
Simon knows a good place inside Wales.
Yeah, man. That you got, I got you a deal, man. I'll give you 2 for 150.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys have been listening to Blackopolypse Podcast Media with the Real Locker Room geezers. You get a chance to listen to our new digitalized audio mini-series. First episode's out now. A Hidden Agenda. If you get a chance, have a look at that. Guys, peace out, man. I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Thanks again for coming, Keith, man. Cheers.
Thanks, Keith, man. Nice one. Good
get you on again.
All right. Take care, guys.
See you.